Welcome one, welcome all. We're back with another week of the Bulls of Ball Street. Toothless has made destruction behind me, and we were able to pick a winner for you guys this past week with Scotty Scheffler, who happens to be playing in this field and just makes this tournament wonder, like, is it even worth talking about? Well, guess what? We are. We're excited. We have some contrarian picks that we're going to look at, and we're going to go a little bit over the course here. I'm back once again with Jackson and Grant, and of course, I don't have any images up for you guys just yet, and I can't figure out which way I want to swing this, but here we are. But
We're
yeah,
so sharp to pick Scheffler to win.
I know. It's so genius. It's so genius. But yeah, did you guys enjoy watching the tournament? Or
It got kind of sketchy for a bit. I
thought
saw
was
that Scheffler was up like 6 strokes. Then I turned on the Thunder game and kind of stopped watching. And then I checked my phone, or I got an alert. It was like John Rahm has closed the lead to just 1 stroke. And I was like, what happened here? Checked in on it. Scotty birdied the next hole, Rahm bogeyed the next hole, and then that was that. So it was pretty anticlimactic, but I guess if you were following along during that entire run, it was probably a pretty exciting 10 to 20 minutes there where things were really tight, but it seemed short-lived and the better player won. But Rahm played better than I expected most of the weekend. I liked what I saw from him, at least. He looked more like he has in the past, so
he's going to win one soon.
Some futures to throw out there for some later tournaments, obviously. Bryson didn't have his best stuff whatsoever. Still finessed a top 2 finish, 5 strokes off the lead, but top 2 nonetheless. That was pretty impressive. I didn't really feel like he was on his game. Yeah, I liked watching Neiman battle through some holes. He started off the week horrendously and then kind of battled back and was a lot better after that first round. So those were some of the guys I liked watching the most, I think.
All right, what about you, Jackson? Did you tune in, or were you just like, this is going to be a Scotty fest? I'm not even going to watch.
No, I was tuned in. I think for the most part, like the picks I was on was looking really good day one. It's the nature of golf for it to kind of peter off through the second and third rounds. You had Aaron Rye looking really good for a lot of it. I guess he kind of did improve through the tournament, but Rasmus Højgaard was a tough one. Who was looking really good early on, kind of just faded deep, ended I think like over 7 or something. DeChambeau was the overall win pick. Not too dissatisfied with that, just because
he was there for a minute. Like, he took the lead on round 3 and then just kind of fizzled off.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, not too dissatisfied with that. I mean, he didn't look his best, like Grant said, but what can you really do? Scotty was Scotty, so.
Yeah. Bryson tried to hit a 9-iron from like 220 out like 4 different times, and all of them went in the water or were terrible shots. Like, I don't know why he didn't adjust and figure it out. It was like some like lofted 9-iron that was just horrendous. Like he doubled 2 holes on that day when he took the lead on Saturday, only because he just didn't have the hang of this club and was just going straight into the water.
What do you guys make of Rory's performance?
There's a lot of controversy right now going on with Rory.
Is that the driver thing?
Yeah, it's the whole driver thing. I don't really know what the true deal is there. I don't think he's cheating, but I do know that, like, I'm going to account his lack of quality play to that. Like, you're playing with a different club than you normally do. That's probably going to throw off a few things.
And maybe just rattled that they caught him.
Oh, yeah. They're just like, well, I was listening
to didn't know that it was illegal or whatever, but either way, you'd be rattled being like, oh, shit, like they're coming after me, or I don't know how this happened. Or,
pretty much.
It's got to get in your head to some level.
What I was reading was that it was just like, unlike the NBA where all the fines are really public, it's not the case with the PGA. They like to keep things very, very quiet. And Rory's name was thrown out there and essentially thrown under the bus. So he was like, fuck it, I'm not going to do any media. I'm not going to do any of this. Like, he was just pissed off all weekend with the PGA.
Classic Rory, running from the media when he's not winning.
All right. Well, this isn't from the actual course currently. It's in 2023. But figured while we kind of do a quick little overview of the course, well, I discussed that at least, we'll have a little bit of a background view. So that way we can all see it together. Make sure I don't have this at 2x speed, knowing me.
I'm a big fan of rooting for the course.
Oh, yeah. So we've got a course that sits at 7261 yards here, so rather lengthy. The specialty that you want to focus on here is your iron play, your driving accuracy. More than anything, there was a restoration done by Jill Hans in 2023. So the biggest emphasis there was to kind of lower these greens, get it a little bit more like it was in the original design in 1936. You're going to have some bent grass here. So your bent grass putters are really going to be the guys that you want to kind of fixate on more than anything. Scheffler has not won here, which I think is particularly interesting. He's had a lot of top threes, tied for second, lost in playoffs, but is yet to finish here and actually get the win. So in theory, that is why we are seeing him play again here, considering it is also in Texas. The only other kind of anecdotes that I think are particularly important is that 9 of the past 10 winners finished inside the top 10 in this tournament before. Well, not this tournament, at Colonial. And then outside of that, they pretty much were all just gaining strokes gained off of putting at a ridiculous rate coming into the tournament.
The experience factor here is big.
Oh, 100%. And being able to control the ball off the tee is particularly important. So like someone like Aaron Rai, who's very accurate with his driver, obviously going to be great. Like every one of these things is going to fit somebody like Scotty very well. Not really that big of a surprise there. But yeah, there's some really fun golfers here. Obviously, I think you're kind of looking at a tournament that's going to be like, all right, well, who's going to win? That's not Scotty Scheffler. Because realistically, it's probably Scotty. Like, I think we could all just kind of say it's probably going to be him. But we'll be taking some swings. We'll have some fun here. Don't really think there's anything too crazy outside of that. Just kind of focus on the guys who've got good irons and see where that takes you.
Yes, sir. Is it a fun fade, Scotty, to not make the top 10? I don't know what it is, but I know him to make the top 10 is minus 340.
So it's probably 290 or something. I don't know if that exists somewhere, but that would be fun.
Yeah.
It'd be a fun fade. I just wouldn't recommend it.
Yeah, he's probably going to get a top 10. Yeah.
I think the most fun
wells on the, like you said, there's only like a 5% chance that a major winner comes back and wins or comes back and plays the next weekend. Is there any data on how they've done during those?
The last time that Scotty won a major and then played a tournament right after it, essentially he won it, which we just saw happen. Like, it's very real that it's probably going to happen again. So, like, I've heard a lot of people say they want to play the winner without markets. Another very interesting stat, though, is that if you did bet Scotty to win every single tournament, you'd barely break even, which is kind of fascinating. So it does make me think that this might not be the wisest place to take him. It might just sound better than it actually is. And I think there's some fun names to honestly explore in this field and kind of take advantage of. But as you can see in this overview here, I think they've taken out some of these trees. But yeah, you got to hit that thing narrow. If it was me, I would probably be in the third tree here by now after my fourth stroke. But it's what it is. So with that said, I guess where exactly do we want to start this in terms of building our kind of portfolios? Is there any more questions we kind of dive into about the course itself, historic winners, or any other anecdotes, I guess?
I figure we just jump right in.
All right, let's jump on into it. So what I'm going to do here is, instead of having this up, I'm going to put up here data golf so we can flip through some golfers, look at some fun stats at Colonial as we go through this. And yeah.
Epic.
All righty here. Let's see if I can make this a little bit bigger. So you can see one golfer I already have up. I already placed some coin on Jordan Spieth personally, but we will get into that a little bit later. So I guess we can probably get into that now more than anything. Do we want to start off with winners, or do we want to start off with top tens or anything of that sort?
Do we want to do this like without Scotty?
I won't be taking Scotty. I think someone could. Obviously, I don't think it is too important. I will not be mentioning Scotty's name the rest of the preview.
I think I'll go. I'll be there with you. Scotty, he gets enough glaze. Nothing needs to be said about him.
Yeah,
definitely can win.
All right, so let's pretend we're playing winner without them. So We'll do the favorites from there. So we'll do the 20 to 30 range as our first group. Then 40 to 100 will be our second group, and then 100 plus is the super long shots. So 3 guys to win, starting from the favorites. I'll go here. I'm rocking with Jordan Spieth. He fits all the previous trends that I kind of talked about. He's not really somebody that I think a lot of people are going to be expecting to perform well in this tournament, just because they're just like tired of the Jordan Spieth name at this point. Like the whole hype was around him last week. But if there's another guy from Texas that can do it, I think it's him. He's got some really good course history here. He's got multiple top 2s. He's got a win back in 2016 when we had Prime. Obviously has not been phenomenal in the past 2 years here. In fact, he was top 40 and lost strokes gained putting, but was very distant, great, and accuracy was awesome. I guess that's one more note is that if you can actually like hit the ball like really straight off the tee, like that is a major advantage for you here. But he's pretty much been gaining strokes putting for every single tournament this year except 3 of them. And PGA Championship, I think you can really go back and forth. But yeah, he didn't even make the cut here. So I don't think a lot of people will be in on him this week. But that is where my favorite is this week. What about you guys? Who am I typing in here?
I like it. You could type in
Hideki.
Siwoo Kim. Okay, go Hideki for Grant. Yeah.
Hideki? I like Hideki. That man was giving us the DeChambeau treatment, a man after my own heart. Big
He's
fan.
just incredible with irons in general, and I feel like that's the focus I got to take with this course. Newer to it, don't know a ton of the history of it. Just know that irons are very important, accuracy, ball striking, and things of that sort. And Hideki can be a little bit up and down, but when his irons are good, they're as good as anyone. So that just feels like a proper lean to take on this course for sure. So of the guys on that top 5 sort of odds spectrum, I believe he's like tied for 3rd-ish right now. So of those guys in that upper echelon, Hideki will be my guy. Spieth, obviously, when he's on, could totally get it done. He's just like, there's a chance after day 1 that you're just completely out of it, whereas I feel like Decky has a better chance of just kind of hanging along, and you never know what happens on the weekend.
I love the Decky pick. He's a really fun one. And I think he's going to be aiming to wins here. Like, I don't know. I think he's very pissed off. So we want Siwoo Kim Jackson?
Yep. Yeah, I'll give Siwoo a shout here, who I think is, within the top 10 golfers as far as betting odds go. And I think rightfully so, probably kind of like what Grant Wells were pointing out. The approach play is great, has been great for Siwoo Kim, which is important on this course. He looked great at the PGA Championship, tied 8th finish. And that's just at the end of a string of really hot form, 4th top 20 performance in a row. So like a lot of golfers on this course, I think if he can put it together in the putting department, this could be a great week for Siwoo.
I like it. I like it a lot. I will say it's kind of funny because I like everything about this course is like set up perfectly for Siwoo is what I was hearing. It's just like it all sets up great. But this is the thing that makes no sense. He's been asked.
Yeah.
Like, I don't get it. So I think we're going to hopefully get a different Siwoo this week. He was really pushing it in the tournament here. Love seeing that ahead of him. Nice 64 there. Had a hole in 1, which was pretty electric. And, of course, you got to love a guy who rips darts on the course. Why not?
Yeah, that was crazy.
New favorite golfer, yeah.
I love that energy. I gotta see some more content of him. He seems like a very entertaining golfer.
He has a tracker on Twitter that's very devoted to Siwoo Kim. Just Siwoo Kim tracker. You'll get all the info you need on Siwoo.
Love to hear it. All right, so this next grouping, who do I want to go with here?
I have mine plugged in if you want to just get it out of the way.
Let's go to you first.
I'll go with Aaron Rye here in this next tier of guys. I don't know if this is the upper tier. It's probably in this middle tier. He's around 3,000 plus 3,000 on most books, like you touched on earlier, Wells. I liked his iron play at the tournament over the weekend. He kind of faded towards the end. I believe he finished, 19th, if you want to scroll down. I think it was 19th. Yeah, 19th. Had a few good days, obviously, before that. His first day, 4 under there, a couple mediocre days in the middle. Saturday really killed him, and then a 69 on Sunday. So played solid golf. That course, though, like we touched on in our last preview, is all about distance and kind of trying to find ways to cut corners on it. And this weekend feels like it's more about ball striking and just kind of more pure golf. And Aaron Rye is a guy that I can trust to hit his irons really well. and just kind of play within his means. So I think he can hang around for a while. He'll be my next tier.
I like it. All right, off to me, Jackson, or on to you?
I guess I can pop off for the one time. I am looking at this a bit deeper down. I'm kind of breaking out of these tranches, but I think I'm going to go with Davis Riley here. Play style, he's 55-1, I think, right now. Play style works really well here.
He won it last year, right?
Won it last year, and look how he's gaining strokes and putting.
Yeah, crazy. Top 30, yeah, an approach over the past 24 rounds, I believe. Yeah, I think it's just a fun deep shot here. Getting good odds on it. Getting good odds on everybody with Scotty being plus 250, but I think he definitely has top 10 potential here. Win odds even without Scotty, especially.
Yeah, I think I need to be more woke to the Davis Riley market. I'm not going to lie. Debating. All right. I think I'm gonna rock with. I'm tempted to take Mackenzie Hughes for the culture, just for the bounce back
You
spot.
could probably take him in that far category if you want.
I'll probably wait then. I'm gonna rock with. Let's go with this one. We're gonna rock with Harris English. Old man-ish, but as somebody that's been playing well, you can see the strokes gained putting has definitely come a bit more into form as of late, outside of the Arnold Palmer Invitational where he fell to shit. But hilarious to see where his distance and accuracy apparently were thriving. Not really sure how that works. But yeah, he's had a pretty good year so far, has had some pretty good history at this course as well. Yet to win it there, but tied for second in 2016. Cut last year, so maybe that's a bad sign of things to come. So ultimately, we will see. With that said, I guess I'll start us off in the next tier of the later guys and go with another old head and Matt Kuchar, 46 years old, but somebody who's been gaining a lot of strokes putting. So I think that's helpful to say the least. And then on top of that, has had great course history here, even had a top 20 finish last year. So don't count the old man out just yet. All he has for him going is his short game. Anyways.
Cool. I'll go with Brian Harman.
Ooh, I like that call a lot.
I think I took him to do well last in the PGA. Not the greatest performance, obviously. Didn't make the cut, but I like him to do a bit better this weekend. He really wasn't made for that course. Doesn't hit the ball super far. Irons are pure. He showed that when he won the Open Championship in the past, and he's really just good with those kind of intermediate shots, and feels like a course where he's not going to get too high or too low, and he'll probably just kind of stay in the middle for most of it, is able to hit a nice calm approach shot. So that's a guy I think can hang around for a while.
I like it.
Yeah, I'm going to go for a deeper one here in Alejandro Tosti, who had a pretty good performance at this course back in 2024 with, I think he tied for 17th in that one. So he's definitely familiar with this course. The play of Tosti kind of works well here. He's looked really good in strokes gained off the tee recently. I think he's in the top 20 for that over the last couple of tournaments. Game fits the blueprint here too. He doesn't necessarily need to bomb it off the tee to string together birdies. So yeah, I think as far as bets go for him, I think the top 20 range is perfect for a guy like Alejandro Tosti, which I think is about 6.5-1.
Like that.
Wells, how much weight do you put into the guys that played well last weekend, kind of keeping in form? Like there were some random names that will be here this weekend that is a
Thor Bjornsson,
Gerard or Thor Bjornsson or Smalley or someone like that who played well at the weekend isn't usually in these kind of conversations, but is someone like that worth a touch?
I mean, if you want to take a shot for their nationality or top 20 or something, sure. But I wouldn't put it too heavily into this tournament. I think we all tend to get a little bit too excited about those guys sometimes, where it's just more about this guy's played really well at this kind of course before. They understand the design. and more often than not, they should do well. I do think something that could be interesting is like a study on caddies that have worked with various golfers to actually see how they've done at courses, because more often than not, they're helping with a lot of the reads and game planning. But that's probably a longer study for another time. But with that said, I guess we should probably transition. Do we want to do top 40 or do we want to do top 20 as our kind of?
I don't see a top 40, but we could all potentially pick a nationality.
All right, let's start with
This is
nationalities.
a little play.
All right, sounds good. I'm with it.
All right.
I mean, I can start it off. I'll go with going back to Nordic. Nah.
Nordic.
Not the greatest pool there. Let's go with Siwoo Kim, top Asian. To use your logic from your play, I like that one, Jackson. I think going with, I'll probably put some on Matsuyama to do well. He was my first guy I mentioned. We'll talk about him later, probably in the top 10 or something, but that feels like good value at plus 330.
I'm still looking through here at mine. See, you can go when you have yours, Wells.
All right. I will go after the Nords because I do want to take a chance on somebody that has been a staple for me the whole entire PGA season. I am the biggest Slappy. If you've heard me talk about him before, which, to be honest, if you're listening to this for his first time, which most of you probably are, you probably haven't. But he's got a great name that I like to go, Sammy Vallis Slappy. Big fan. As you can see, the form just continues to kind of go on this massive upslope here. Love to see that. This is a guy who is phenomenal in the short game, great putting. As you can see here, he's got a fourth at Texas. That's something I should have also kind of brought into shape here, so my apologies. The comp courses that you want to be looking at when you are looking at Charles Schwab is obviously the Colonial, which is where they will be playing. Harbour Town is another course, Sedgefield, Wailea, Southern Hills, and Innisbrook Copperhead are all good resources to look at as well. And when you do comp a lot of those courses, Hideki specifically, like his metrics pop off the fucking charts. So that was somebody I was looking at that I was very, very interested in for that reason. But Sammy Valimaki, 5.5 to 1 on DraftKings for top continental European.
I like that.
Because Nordic, he's also 360 too, so you could get involved with either of those, I think.
Interesting. I kind of like the Continental a little bit more because the odds are a bit juicier, and I don't like the names around them. Like they all seem kind of blank.
Who's
Jackson,
is someone
Similarly,
like go ahead, Brent.
oh yeah.
No. I was just making sure all the same names in Nordic were in Continental there.
Gotcha.
Yep, similarly to how Grant paid homage to my Siwoo Kim pick, I'm going to do the same with Grant's Hideki pick. This seems like almost a guaranteed lock here. Hideki at minus 140, top Japanese. He's just got to outclass Hisetsune and Takumi Kanaya, and he's got it. I actually might load a little bit of a coin onto this one this weekend.
It's a good shout. Wells, Hughes, top Canadian. It's not a great field. There's only 3 of them. Haven't heard of one of them. I feel like that could be a lean for you. It's only plus 100, but you could load up more on that play. That might be a move.
I kind of like it. To be honest with you, I think, I got a fun one. I'll save it for when we get there. But Hughes will be on my card. It's going to be a gross thing that we're looking at, but I think it's a bit sharper than you would expect. All right. So with that said, let's go ahead and go to the top 20 now. So a guy that we're taking to get top 20 here can be anyone. Not going to tell you to shoot from deep, but I'm personally going to rock with, I don't have the odds on this in front of me, which is beautiful, but JT posted to top 20 for me here. 190. I like that. Just like getting plus money on JT Poston. He's somebody who's been trending well in a form, which is obviously great. Putting has been phenomenal, as you can see to this point. Like, that's beautiful. Top 5 at PGA Championships, which is great as well. And we saw how rough it was to play on those greens specifically, like putting on just cement. But yeah, some good course history here as well. That's where I will be for the top 20. What about you guys?
I mean, if we want to touch on the guys we've talked about before, I think Brian Harmon plus 210 is great value here. We want to go with just taking a stab. Akshay plus 270, kind of streaky, could get just hot enough to kind of have a big enough lead and be like top 5 going into the last day. He tends to tail off a bit as the weekend goes on. He's super young, but I think if he starts off hot enough, he could sustain well enough to get into the top 20 there, and that's plus 270. So I think that's pretty decent value.
Yeah, I think I'd honestly, I'd feel like I'd be doing a disservice to just like throw another name out there because I don't have any other like really great ideas. I did say I like the Toasty line at plus 650. Some other golfers though that I was looking at around here. I was kind of looking at Thor Bjornsson. I think there was just kind of some recency bias there though.
Well, fuck it, let it rip.
Yeah,
Just pick a guy you like.
Let's go, Michael Thor Bjornsson.
Thor Bjornsson. Yeah, I mean, this kid is going to be a stud. Very excited about his future. I mean, as you can tell, like, look at how this is spiking immediately off the rip. Like, this kid is going to be very good very soon. But yeah, we'll see how he goes. Doesn't have any course history here, so we will see. But yeah, all right. On to the top 10. Then I'll try to rip through this a little bit quicker then. Let's go with I will follow on Brian Harmon for top 10. We've kind of already been there and touched on that.
I like it. I'll just lock in Aaron Rye there at the top 10 mark. Touched on earlier, really good irons, good ball striker. Should be able to just kind of creep up, be a couple under every day, and sustain that lead into the top 5 or top 10.
I like it.
Yeah, I think I'm going to lock in. Wait, let me see what these odds are real quick, just to make sure.
Who's the guy? I can tell you.
Siwoo Kim. Yeah, plus 175 to make the top 10. I think with, his style of play.
360.
Oh, 360.
Yeah.
I was thinking of top 20. Nice. Yeah, I think with his style of play, recent performance, his approach play specifically, his recent success at the PGA Championship should be a great week for him. Just interested in the putting on these small greens.
All right. And then for top 5, I'm going to be rocking with Hideki. Yeah, I think that's kind of a fun one given the form, and I think he can get there this week.
Totally.
Like it.
Top 5, I kind of should have saved Siwoo for that.
Yeah, I mean, I'll go with Decky there. He was my winner pick. I think I'll probably do top 5 and winner for him just to close off my analysis. Plus 550 coming in with a bit of a chip on his shoulder, I think. Really good irons hitter. Should be a good spot for him. And he's played the course plenty. He's a vet, obviously, so that helps.
Yeah, I might switch Davis Riley and Siwoo. So apologies everyone for that, but Davis Riley is going to be my top 10. Siwoo is going to be my top 5. There we go.
I like it.
Yeah.
All right. And then for me,
5 plus 800, pretty good.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to go to the round finishing position as our final category here. And I'm going to rock with Mackenzie Hughes, first round leader. I think it's kind of a more unique angle. He played obviously terrible this past week, but I don't know. He had a first round lead here at Myrtle Beach. So I doubt those courses correlate, but gains lost strokes.
Let's find a guy that can go nuclear. That's not like.
All right. I know my guy, and he's someone I've already said. It's going to be Toasty, who I had at top 20, just because he's had so many good opening rounds in 2025. I believe he's had 5 65 or better rounds. I believe he had equally as good of a first round at last year's Les Schwab Challenge at Colonial. So he's the type of guy that could do it. I might as well just back him here.
I like it.
What are his odds?
First round leader. Let's see.
I can't even find him.
I was looking at it. Let's see. Toasty.
Does that say Michael Block? Michael Block's back this week?
Plus 7,000.
Wow.
I guess so. I guess he needs the people.
We'll go with Akshay here instead of the other one. I feel like he's built for first round leaders. He doesn't really have the experience to sustain leads at this point, but he is super talented and can get hot for a round. So let's just lock that in plus 6,000.
I like it. All right. With that said, I think that's all we have for you this particular one. Colonial Country Club will be a very interesting test for these golfers, and hopefully they perform well. Hopefully we can get another winner for you guys this week. But yeah, nothing really much more to be said. Enjoy the weekend. Let us know what questions you have down below. Subscribe if you haven't already. Yeah, you're already this far. So yeah, until next time, talk to you later. Have a great day. Peace now.
Thank you.